kind of way, they within a game or two and they have 2 games against the Warriors, they could easily catch the Golden State Warriors, and that would be unbelievable for the Spurs because they just keep flying under the radar. It could definitely, and they've had their injuries and problems with Tony Parker, Pau Gasol been out.
The danger zone to me is those first 2 teams are going to be fine, wherever they finish in the standings. The danger zone, you do not want to catch Memphis in that first-round game, and they're lurking. They're lurking right there for somebody. Houston could end up facing them in that first-round matchup. But
Clippers.
the Spurs, Clippers. But the Spurs, it's going to be a matter of does Greg Popovich want to go for it? Is this something Greg Popovich wants to do to push his team down the stretch? You remember a couple years ago, they lost that last regular season game in New Orleans, and it cost them playoff seeding, ultimately probably cost them an opportunity to determine who won that championship that year. Maybe Pop is thinking about that and thinking about pushing his guys a little bit harder down the stretch of the season. Then again, it's Pop, so maybe not. Maybe he's just going to do what Pop does.
Well, this thing, how concerned should Golden State be given the fact that they've had this 2-game losing streak now, and then we see that Steph and Clay are both struggling from the three-point line, Smitty?
Yeah, and I think when you watch Steph and Clay struggle, then definitely they're going to struggle, and that was the luxury of having Kevin Durant. You're not going to have all 3 guys struggling. I think right now is for somebody to come off the bench, and I think that's Sean Livingston to give them 4 come off the bench.
That's just it. This is a
Spades,
different team.
Barbosa is a huge miss, and then you had also Festus Ezeli. It wasn't a lot of offense, but he could spell Bogut and play some defense and rough, big body. I think David West could be. He's just been hurt. He hasn't gotten rhythm, and also Zaza Pachulia's been hurt.
Do you expect them, Sekou, to work through this adversity? The Golden State Warriors figure it out? Is it just a slump for their shooters? Right?
Yeah, listen, you don't win as much as they have the past couple of years, and we lose confidence in you all of a sudden as a group. They won 73 games with a different cast, but without Kevin Durant last year. I think they've earned the benefit of the doubt, but they got to sweat this one out. People forget, for all the great things they did last year, San Antonio was chasing them last year. It wasn't like they ran off 73 with nobody behind them, never had to look over their shoulder. San Antonio, 67-win team last year and was coming. So that same pressure on these Warriors, going to have to figure out some ways to do it and going to need some contributions from some of those other guys on that roster.
Well, no question. You hear different things about the Durant injury, how long he's going to be out, when he'll be evaluated, how severe it actually is. So much hinges in the Western Conference on the health of Kevin Durant.